Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
Here to bring you some knowledge, it's the Metal Experts! Never in music history have two people been so intelligent. These guys know that Zakk Wylde plays guitar! You gotta be kidding me. Ozzy Osbourne was in Black Sabbath? You're yanking my chain, dude. You gotta be kidding me! Britney Spears isn't metal? Man, those guys are brilliant! Here they are, the bastions of knowledge, Professors Mark and John, the Metal Experts!
All right.
There we go. See who just popped into the chat room?
Who's that?
Bob Nalbandian.
Oh, yeah, our good friend Bob.
Yeah. Did I tell you that he asked me to be a participant in a special skull session?
What makes it so special?
Well, it's a special one to coincide with his interview with Dave Mustaine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I get to be the opening commentary.
Really?
Yeah, and do you remember before how I complained and bitched about how you got to do it with Dave Ellefson?
Yes, with somebody who's significant.
Yeah, and I don't get to do it with somebody who's significant.
Right.
Well, I got to say, Bob has really stepped it up this time, and he's put me in there with somebody significant. Dom from Maximum Threshold.
Oh. Seriously? Now, don't get me wrong. Those guys from Maximum Threshold are nice, but, well, you know my thoughts.
You got Dave Ellefson. I got Dom from Maximum Threshold.
Well, you deserve it.
Thanks.
You deserve it. You're on top of shit.
Thanks a lot, Bob. That's all right.
Just admit it. Bob gets more listeners through the CMS than he would get on his own.
Of course he does.
I like Bob. But without us, Bob's nothing.
Well, with us, Bob's nothing. But, you know. I'm like, didn't I make a big dissertation, a big point?
Yes, you did.
About how I wasn't happy and I wanted a bigger name person. And what did I get?
You got your neighbor.
How about this? If I want to talk to Dom, I'll call him on the phone.
Yeah, he lives right down the street from you.
I'll take a 10-minute drive and I'll appear on his show, Bob. What do you think of that? Thanks a lot, Bob. Instead, I get to have a conference call with a guy who I could throw a stone and hit in the face.
Well, look at Bob. Yes, Chris, I told you I'm working on getting you on with Max and Sam Dunn, and yes, Neeley, you are correct.
That's fine and dandy. Well, I'm working on jamming with Metallica here in my fucking house. What do you think of that, Bob? It's being worked on, okay? I've heard this line of bullshit before, okay? I'm looking at Live Aid 2010, the Chris Aiken benefit concert held in my backyard. I'm working on that now, too. Stop lying to me, Bob. Me, Ozzy, and Keith Richards are going to do the next skull sessions. Right, Bob? Right after I do the one with Dom from Maximum Threshold? Is that how it's going to work, Bob?
I like his movie, though. What about Bob?
I get to do another shitty one because I've got the carrot dangling in front of me? Is that what you're saying, Bob? I'm on to you, pal.
All right, are you ready to resume this Talking Metal segment?
Yeah.
Just beating up on my friend Bob.
Yeah, of course he's your friend. He hooks you up with a real celebrity.
He says, "Hey man, you're disrupting the show. I'm in the copper spacecraft."
That's right.
And I want to hear the metal experts because he needs some pointers for his own show.
Maybe I'm going to kick him off. Let me if I can log in and just bounce his stream.
Look at Scotty. Bob sucks anal seepage.
Jeez.
Wow.
No, I was going that far.
That
I was focused a little fun, Scotty, but man.
Well, anyway, our good friend Wheezy, who is our unofficial intern.
Can't we give him a title?
Yeah, we need to bring him into the fold officially somehow.
I mean, what is his title? The ambassador of sound clips?
I don't know, but he does a hell of a job at what he does.
He does. We got to give him a title.
So anyway, he evidently was scanning Talking Metal.
Why? No one knows.
Well, because he's always feeding us content for the show.
Oh, that is true.
So he says the boys are back in true form, wasted in a bar.
Oh, good.
This episode has everything we love about them. Drunken Talking Metal toast, stupid banter, forgetting facts. This one has it all. He sounds like a late night infomercial. But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
He says, I did not mess with the volume levels at all.
Okay. Oh, no.
1 minute they are shouting into the microphone. The next they are whispering.
All right.
They are fighting the jukebox in the background.
And losing.
So many great topics to rip on. I don't know where to begin. O&A recently brought back Line of the Day, so I'll use this premise. A quote from John. Mushroomhead's manager listens to Talking Metal before he goes to sleep at night. I'm sure he does. These guys will put anyone to sleep. Ha ha. I had to break this episode into 3 parts due to the size, so here we are.
All right.
So here's part 1.
Okay.
Our favorite boys.
All right, good.
Zurich, Auckland, Dublin, Dallas, Milwaukee, Los Angeles, Sydney, Indianapolis, Tokyo, Seattle, Paris, Budapest, Berlin, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 men who are committed to rocking you wherever you might be. John Astronomy and Mark Striegel. Welcome to the Talking Metal Podcast, broadcasting around the world from TalkingMetal.com and Striegel'sMusicNews.com.
Mark Striegel, sitting right across from me. This is John Astronomy, broadcasting from Dino's Bikini Bar.
Newt.
God.
Right out the gate.
We're not 2 sentences in.
Hey, this is Neeley. I'm rocking with Chris. He's sitting right across the table from me because I can't hear over the jukebox in this bar.
Hey, dude.
Jesus criminy.
New York City, right across the street from Madison Square Garden.
Yes, it is. I'm going to be hopping on a train heading home in a few minutes, but just great to finally get out and hang out with the one and only Astronomy. Talking Metal Toast.
That's because your wife and baby has you jumping through hoops. You better get on that train and get home. Don't be hanging out with that loser Astronomy.
My goodness. Right out the gate.
Right out the gate.
God.
It's good to be hanging out once again because my wife and baby expect me to get home immediately after work.
That's right.
No hanging out with my single drunk loser friend.
Cheers, Mark. I'm drinking a rum and coke, dude.
Good. And I'm drinking a Bass beer. A lot of stuff going on. You know that crazy guy Mikey who sends out the Headbangers NYC emails? I get on the train a couple weeks ago, right? I'm all frazzled and I'm like got my headphones on and I had a guitar and like 3 bags as usual.
3 bags?
3 bags and a guitar.
Where's he going?
I don't know. Is he moving out?
3 bags as usual.
As usual? What does he do? Sleep at work?
I don't know.
Sleep in the basement of the Sci-Fi Channel? I mean, what the hell?
And I sat down.
What?
And I knew the AC/DC concert was going on that night out at Giant Stadium. And my train stops out that way on my way home. I wasn't going to the show. But I sit down in the train, And it's like one of those 4-seaters, and there's like a few people sitting there. And I sit down next to this dude, and as I sit down, again, I was in a really foul mood. But and I had the headphones on, and the guy kind of nods at me,
What?
What?
Are you talking to me?
Who are you yelling at?
I got my rum and coke, dude. I can't hear you.
Oh, cool. I don't have any smokes. I can't loan you one.
Seriously. Why would you go to a crowded, loud bar to record this stupid podcast?
Dude, obviously you don't pay attention. They've addressed this before. It's about capturing the ambience of a metalhead.
What?
Ambience of a metalhead.
What did you say?
Ambience of a metalhead.
Okay.
And the guy sitting next to me, and I didn't take the headphones off. I nodded back. I kind of said, "Hey, what's up?" And I kept thinking, I recognize this dude, but he didn't bother me, he didn't tap me, he kind of looked away and just let me sit there. And then as he was getting up to get off to go to the AC/DC show, I recognized him. It was Mikey, and I pulled off the headphones and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he was like, "Hey, man, I didn't want to bother you." And I was like, "Dude, you should have bothered me. I would have loved to have spoken with you."
So was it above and beyond you, Mark, saying taking your headphones off first and say, "Hey, do I know you?"
Yeah, maybe it had something to do with the big half a guitar length sticker you had that said "I'm Mark from Talking Metal" on your stupid guitar case.
But you couldn't take your headphones off first and say, "Hey, do I know you?" You had to wait for him to approach you.
Look, when you're a famous celebrity like Mark Striegel, you don't just associate with the common folk.
Look at the Skull Sessions. Mark's got his rum and coke, and Neeley has vodka cranberry. Sounds like a match made in heaven.
But I said, "Mikey, great seeing you." And he was like, "Yeah, I figured you were going to the show, and we would catch up when we walked to the arena." I was like, "Nah, I'm not going, man." And so it's kind of interesting running into Mikey, and literally, I wish he was a little more aggressive and would have engaged the conversation with me.
Yeah,
Definitely.
see? You have to approach me, dickwad.
And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that whole conversation didn't sound too interesting to me.
Didn't sound interesting.
Hey, you going to the show? No. Okay, good seeing you.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
So basically, there again. Well, you should have been more aggressive in approaching me.
Yeah, because I'm the star.
Right.
And Mikey came over to the old spacecraft department and hung out with us.
He came over to the old spacecraft department?
Is that the one Bob now rents?
That just cracks me up that this 40-year-old dude is referring to his one-room apartment as a spacecraft.
You know what, Neely? I'm about tired of you hammering this guy. There's a level of cool that you're obviously not appreciating with this guy.
Look at Scotty. They give retards bad names.
And, of course, Scotty spelled retards wrong.
Yeah.
Just be Scotty. What a dope.
And he does a great website or blog or email. It's called headbangernyc.com, I believe. Something to that effect. Look it up. Google it.
The main thing he does is
I'm always amazed that they never know the web address for anything.
Yeah. Why would you talk about it?
They're always plugging things, but they have no idea where it is or what it is for sure. Just Google it. Fuck it. Just Google it.
So stupid.
I know. I don't support it. I don't look at it. It's like something. It's like www something or other headbanger something. Just Google it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
like a weekly or bi-weekly email that he sends out with usually a little funny, like, note. Some of them are a little weird, like talking about shaving his pubes and stuff. But if you can get through that, he sometimes he says some cool stuff. But not.
So you have to dig through this guy's nonsense to get something worthwhile?
I'll be passing on this.
He talks about shaving his pubes, and he takes he uses a vibrator up his ass. But hey, you know what? If you can dig through that stuff, sometimes you can get a nugget of wisdom out of his website.
I don't think I'll be Googling or whatever.
What a stupid thing to say.
Dumb.
He's a nice guy and loves his rock, that's for sure.
No doubt. We love Mikey, and we were happy to have him over on Talking Metal and would like to get him on again, man. He's a cool dude, and anybody who's flying a flag high for metal is our kind of dude.
Speaking of AC/DC, how about...
He's our kind of dude?
Unless it's us.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Jeez.
A little AC/DC right now. This is John, myself, and the one and only Evan Seinfeld doing Walk All Over You by AC/DC. Check it out on Talking Metal.
Great.
So there you are. There's the first little segment.
Oh, it was good stuff so far.
Yeah.
Got
We're
me locked.
out here at the bar. I can't hear a goddamn thing.
What?
All right, let's see what the boys are up to in this segment.
That was Walk All Over You by Talking Metal, Evan Seinfeld, and the Spiders. That's with a Y.
Evan Seinfeld and the Spiders?
Yeah, it's great.
He's going to go with the letter thing now, just like creator with a K.
Yeah. Spider with a Y.
Right.
It's cool.
By Talking Metal, Evan Seinfeld, and the Spiders. That's with a Y and a Z. Great.
It's cooler that way.
Yeah, Spiders. Spyderz, man.
That's cool, man.
And those guys were amazing, man. Evan Seinfeld, John Monty, and the gang. I ran into John outside of the Broadway play that features hard rock and metal. What play is that?
I think it's Rock of Ages, but I got to tell you...
But I knew that answer. Jeez.
Outside that play that has something to do with rock and metal.
Way to be informed about what's going on in your own town, stupid.
Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
I hope Mark contracts AIDS with an AIDS, and I hope John contracts HIV with an HIV.
All right.
Holy shit, Emma, go to bed. I'm wondering now when he starts dialing, if his feet start getting warm, and then slowly as the phone starts ringing, he feels that burning sensation crawling up his leg and up his back. Because he has to feel that he is just about to flame out with every single call. He's got to feel those flames slowly working their way up to his neck. By the time he starts speaking, that's all he feels is flames burning his neck because he's flaming out.
Nice.
Jesus, dude. Go to bed.
What you guys just heard there, for better or worse, has never ever been heard before. That is a Talking Metal exclusive. And John and I are drinking tonight.
Already Mark is getting hammered.
Yeah.
We're fucking drinking tonight.
We're drinking.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have some more drinks tonight.
It's in a Talking Metal exclusive. That hasn't been heard before.
What?
Another toast. Another toast.
That's rare. A toast.
Could you imagine that bartender over there? Who are those two fags sitting at that table with that microphone and reeling around on their bar stool?
Kidding.
Cool. Yeah. Good stuff. We shot that, actually, for the Fuse show and didn't end up getting the rights to the publishing, so it never aired, unfortunately. Sad stuff.
What? He didn't get rights to the publishing?
Then how can you air it here?
It's just like, why is there got to be publishing? It's you jamming along with a couple of your friends.
It's recorded. I mean, there's mechanicals that they'd have to pay. They'd have to pay a mechanical to AC/DC.
Yeah, to AC/DC, I get that.
But they just put it out on their stupid podcast.
Yeah, I was only part of it. Fuck it, we're drinking.
That's true.
Yeah, you know what, guys? There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that no one ever knows. And believe me, we would love to fill you all in, but for legal reasons, we can't.
Why can't you just explain the process, stupid? It has nothing to do with legal reasons.
Well, you know, legally we can't tell you the secrets of the inside business.
We just told you the reason, because you have to pay mechanical royalties to AC/DC Publishing.
Yeah.
End of story. How stupid is that?
Look, I don't want you bringing this up again, Neely. There's legal reasons we can't share this with the public.
God, these guys are tools.
For legal reasons, we don't want astronomy to end up in jail. Those are the legal reasons. But
please, please,
shut up.
You know, Sci-Fi, where I work, has a great show called Caprica. It's the, I guess you call it spin-off of Battlestar Galactica, set 54 years in the past. The girl who plays Zoe on Caprica was cast as Lita Ford in the new Runaways movie, which is going to be massive. I mean, these are big stars that are in this movie. And mysteriously was, after it was announced in Rolling Stone magazine that she was playing Lita Ford in the Runaways movie, coming out soon, was taken out of that role and demoted to one of the second or third bass player in that band. So, which is too bad for her, but you got to watch Caprica, and we have to watch the Runaways movie that is coming.
Really? You have to watch that?
Want to hear these giant names?
Yeah, give me the giant names. It's just going to be huge.
This thing is going to be huge. Joan Jett, played by Kristen Stewart.
Who?
I think she's in the Twilight movies. I could be wrong.
Couldn't tell you.
Cherry Curry, played by Dakota Fanning. That's a name.
All right, that is a name.
Lita Ford by Scout Taylor Compton.
Never heard of her.
Robin by Aaliyah Shawkat.
Never heard of her.
Marie Harmon, here's a big name. This is going to draw the people in. Tatum O'Neal.
She's still alive?
Kim Fowley by Michael Shannon.
I actually met Kim Fowley.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is that?
He's a producer. He produced he produced a lot. He was their manager. He was the one who actually put the Runaways together.
Oh.
And then he produced a lot of bands through the 80s. In fact, he produced the London records.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have known that name if you told me.
Yep, he's kind of a weird dude. I bet you Bob knows him.
You know Donald Curry?
No.
That would be played by Brett Cullen. Who?
Yeah, seriously.
Scotty is being played by Johnny Lewis. Tammy is being played by Hannah Marks. Marie Curry is being played by Danielle Riley Keough. And then it goes lower from there, and then it gets down to talent show hecklers and guitar teachers and stuff.
Oh.
So is that going to be huge or what?
That's
huge, massive?
That's going to be huge.
Massive. Didn't he say massive?
Massive.
Yeah, not going to be huge or massive.
Bob says Tatum O'Neal is probably older than Joan Jett. But like I said, I bet you Bob knows Kim Fowley.
Probably does.
He's a weird dude. See?
All right.
Look, see? Neely, I used to work on a project with Kim Fowley. You're right, he's a freak. See? I told you. I knew Bob would know him. He's a weird dude, man.
This movie is going to be massive.
Massive.
Massive, man.
Soon to the theaters. This is going to be massive. It's like all Hollywood A-list in this. You know, Kristen Stewart.
All Hollywood A-list.
Do I need to pull that list back?
A-list? The only one on there is Dakota Fanning.
Kristen Stewart's fairly known.
I don't even know who she is.
She's that Twilight movie was big, and I think she's in that.
Big deal.
I know.
From
Not
Twilight. I don't know who she is, but apparently she's very famous.
I don't know who she is, but apparently she's very famous. Really? Okay.
My parents watched that movie Twilight. I don't like to watch anything with people younger than me. I'm just kidding, guys.
Dakota Fanning.
He's hysterical.
Who another sci-fi connection was, of course, star of Taken. Now she's like some 17-year-old chick. She's in it, and I forget the girl who was recast as Lita Ford, but all the top Hollywood stars playing the parts of Joan Jett, Lita Ford, and the rest of the Runaways. A band that...
Really? All the top Hollywood stars.
Kristen Stewart, Dakota Fanning, Scout Taylor Compton, Aaliyah Shawkat, and is Marie Harmon one of the Runaways? I don't know who the Runaways are.
Right.
I mean, I know of the Runaways, but I don't know their names. So those are the top four. So I'm assuming those are the four band members.
Right.
Kristen Stewart, Dakota Fanning, Scout Taylor Compton, and Aaliyah Shawkat. Yeah, that doesn't have me rushing to the theater to pre-order tickets.
Really, in retrospect, didn't do all that well back in the 70s.
I got to mention, not to go off topic, but Dakota Fanning.
What? What are you saying, John? I can't hear you.
Could you just scribble it on that big giant forehead of yours?
He actually has a 5 head.
Dude should rent that space.
It was great in Taken, and I thank you for giving me that box set, man. It was amazing.
You bet. Yeah, cool. We are hanging out here in New York City. Heaven and Hell, kind of a scandalous end to the tour. Any comments on that, John?
Was it scandalous?
Yeah, they ran out of show dates, and that was it.
It's scandalous.
Scandalous.
Tony,
they didn't continue on forever and ever. They had a list of tour dates. They played them. Then they went off to do separate things.
Tony Iommi went to get his hand operated on and will be recovering. And during the downtime, Dio's going to go do some solo shows.
Dio's going to strike while it's hot.
Yeah. Why not?
He's going to make $15,000 a night instead of 10.
Right.
Well, apparently is going to be doing some solo dates, correct? And who knows what's going on? I don't know. All I know is that I have a DVD rack in my apartment that has 4 DVDs on it. Guess all.
So what does that have to do with the scandalous end of the tour?
Dude, everything revolves around the spacecraft.
I don't know what's happening. All I know is I got 4 DVDs in my rack at home.
Yeah, right. Ask me any question you want to about metal, Neely.
So there was a scandalous end of the tour. So what's the scoop with that?
Dude, Tony Iommi's getting some surgery, but enough about that, because right here in my cabinet, I've got 5 DVDs sitting here, man.
Well, they're metal experts, though. He asked his partner there in crime what was the scandal that ended the tour, and he goes, I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, they know it all.
Well, aren't you an expert? I thought you would have that information.
Well, they almost have every information.
Oh, I see.
Correct? And who knows what's going on? I don't know. All I know is that I have a DVD rack in my apartment that has 4 DVDs on it. Kissology 1, Kissology 2, Kissology 3, and Heaven and Hell live at Radio City. 4 DVDs I was part of.
Yeah.
So it's all about you, right?
That's right. He was part of. In other words, he was in the crowd.
Yeah. So it's all about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Heaven and Hell, the New York City show, they had to give away a lot of the tickets. It did not sell all that well. They were able to fill it up with a lot of the free tickets that they were giving away. Tony Iommi seemed in a bad mood. Eddie Trunk did something with him, and fans were...
Well, what did he do with them?
That was that meet and greet.
He did something with them.
Something.
I don't know. Just something.
Well, they don't want to give Eddie any credit since he did broke their dreams.
Right. He stole their dreams.
Their dream.
Asking him for pictures, and he was saying no. He then said in the press that they should bring some Ozzy songs into the set. Dio then said he would not be singing Ozzy songs. In general, from what I'm told, the tour didn't do all that great. The album really didn't do all that great either. Sold under 40,000 its first.
Well, that's because they did zero press.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't know that.
They did nothing. They didn't promote it. They didn't do any press. They didn't do any interviews. They did nothing.
Yeah, not a thing.
Week, and the failure Chinese Democracy sold 235,000 in its first week. So I'm not sure what that makes Heaven and Hell.
Well, Heaven and Hell didn't take 14 years to put out an album. And they didn't take $13 or $14 million to do it either.
Yeah, and they put out a better album.
And they didn't have an exclusive deal with Best Buy either. Right. And they didn't get commercials. And they didn't get promotion. Nothing.
Dude, why do you argue this point?
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying these guys are retarded.
You and I know that Heaven and Hell was a failure and that Chinese Democracy was the greatest selling record of 2008.
Yeah.
And not.
Okay.
And all time. It's probably the best album ever written and recorded.
Last album. Although there are some great songs off that last Heaven and Hell album. Devil You Know is the name of it. I was just watching the video, I think Bible on Fuse on Demand.
I actually have a song from the album on my current top 20 on the TalkingMetal.com website. And basically my opinion on this whole thing is, and I got two things. This is a two-part opinion. This amount of records being sold by such a great band, Heaven and Hell, 40,000 first week, it's sad. Yet, at the same time, it's understandable because of the fact that the times are so bad and nobody's buying records. But what makes me madder is the fact that people, badmouth Guns N' Roses for selling much, much more, called their album a failure, and yet I've not heard anyone calling Dio and Iommi and the whole gang a failure yet. And I think that the media is ridiculous.
So it's the media. So they're comparing Heaven and Hell to Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, of course. How many Heaven and Hell albums sold 25 million? How many?
None that I'm aware of.
So none. How many Black Sabbath albums sold 25 million?
None that I'm aware of.
So then the expectation is not the same, you dumb shit.
Plus the record label did not pay and pay and pay for 14 years.
Yeah.
To have a Heaven and Hell record made.
It was a flop.
Look at Bob. Jesus Christ, you dumb fucks. Get off of GNR already.
It's been a year, all right? Your album's stiffed. All your fucking 400 lead-up shows proved one thing, that you guys can't do shit. Your show's not worth anything, and it doesn't help promote a goddamn thing. So shut up.
Look at Nathan from Kentucky. Shut up, you fuckers. Die, die, die.
Oh, we don't want them to die because then we won't have content.
Right.
There's actually starting to be some rumblings on message boards and stuff about Heaven and Hell. Listen, great band. I love Heaven and Hell. I love Black Sabbath. I think it's time for them to just take a little break, maybe a few years. We'll see where things are at. Iommi has to do a solo tour. Go out there, play all those Black Sabbath hits from the Ozzy era, from the Dio era, from the Tony Martin era.
Who's going to sing all those songs?
Well, Tony, obviously.
Right.
He said a solo tour.
Yeah, who's going to sing all those songs?
You don't even need a band. Just Tony, get up there and rip them.
It's just Tony and his guitar, and he's going to sing them all.
That's right. He'll bang the head of the guitar on the microphone for a drum beat.
Right.
That's how it's going to work.
One of your songs, like off your Glenn Hughes solo album, or off the album with, Billy Idol and Dave Grohl, which I think was just called Iommi. That was a great, great album. Goodbye Laminate was a great song with Dave Grohl. I'd love to hear these songs in concert. Iommi solo tour is what I am asking for.
Hold on. So they had to paper the Black Sabbath show or the Heaven and Hell show because nobody would come out to it.
Yeah.
But this knothead thinks that Tony should go out solo?
Yeah.
Good one, because Tony Iommi, the godfather of all heavy metal, is going to go out and play 300-seat clubs? What an idiot.
Yeah. See, they had to paper the whole show here in New York City, one of the biggest cities in the nation.
Yeah, one where they should easily be able to draw 15,000 people.
But Tony Iommi needs to go out on a solo tour.
Yeah, good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea. Why don't you guys work marketing for him?
Sure.
Sometimes it's so cool to see one of these legendary guys in a small club on his own fronting a band. Just like it was so cool to see Ace back in the day, in the Fraley's Comet days, fronting his own band. And we are looking forward to seeing Tony Iommi, who we've had on Talking Metal, and who I actually ran into once in the MTV lobby.
Wow!
There's a nugget of information for you.
Holy crap.
I ran into him once at the MTV lobby.
Man, you're kidding me.
Really? He was there?
Dude, did I ever tell you this one story? You're going to be stunned by this. This is a true story, and I'm not making this up. I was at, of all places, I was at a New Edition concert, and I was walking backwards because I was talking to somebody. You know how like you get to talking to somebody and you'd sort of turn around and you're backwards, whatnot. And I bumped into, and I swear to God this is true, I bumped into Mike Tyson. Can you believe it?
Wow. It's crazy.
Isn't that something?
It's amazing.
Is your life now better because you know that fact?
Wow, that's wild.
Now, what story is more important, more intriguing? That I ran into Mike Tyson or that this knothead ran into Tony Iommi? Or are they equally stupid?
Right.
What a dope.
Cool. Tony is the man. He is the guy who invented it all. And I'd love to see him with Ozzy, with Dio, hell, with Tony Martin. I think Tony's available. Let's see what happens.
Hey. By the way,
well, Talking Metal predicted it, so I see it happening.
Hey guys, we have a great show. We have Mushroomhead coming up tonight, and we should have mentioned that early on, but we are having so much fun rocking out, and I know the dudes in Mushroomhead would understand because they are cool guys, man. Mark, I wish you would have been there with me when we were hanging out with those guys.
I'm sorry I missed it. The great band Deftones on the jukebox right now, and the guy is in a coma. Which guy is that? I forgot his name.
What? Metal expert.
How is it that this guy could turn a guy being into a coma into hilarious? Jesus.
We got Deftones on the jukebox. Guy's in a coma. What's his name? Who is it? What does he do?
It's one of the Deftones, you know.
Let's see. I know you haven't heard this.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
How much you bet John doesn't know the name?
Oh, 100%. Dude, you're not getting any money out of me this way, friend.
Chino? Something like that?
And Jose from Sirius has a website set up for him.
It's not Chino. Chino's the singer.
Chino or something like that.
Isn't it Chi Cheng that's the one with the coma?
Mm-hmm.
I think. Chino.
Something like that.
Chino's the singer, you boob.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah, you know, all the Mexicans, they look the same.
Where you can donate money. I'm going to be giving a donation myself. We'll link that through today's show notes.
Yeah, I bet
you know what?
will.
I'm so...
As soon as that GoDaddy check comes in, I'm going to give him the whole $1.80 we've earned.
That's right, because I care.
Bummed out about this because right when that happened, we put that in our news section, and I never thought that this coma was going to go on this long. I thought...
I never thought this coma was going to go on this long.
Yeah, I thought it was one of those comas that lasts a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Idiot.
That he was going to be, under the best care, which I'm sure he is, and that he was going to come out of it. But we pray for him, and, man, guys, Do what you got to do. Donate. Go to Jose's website. Do what you got to do, man, because this is a great guy. And
a great guy. I can't even remember his name.
I don't know his name, but he's a great guy.
He's a great guy. I never met him.
Yeah, and I think it's a different guy in the band. But yeah, he's great.
It's just a tragedy.
Cool. Let's get into some music and then come back and talk some Mushroom Head.
Really?
Wait a minute.
It's cool.
Cool.
Cool?
What's cool about that?
I don't know. I don't know this guy's name, but he's a nice guy. Never met him.
What's his name? Chino or something?
But it's a tragedy, so I pray for him.
Yeah. You guys should take care of him.
Oof. Almost is nothing. Growing disgrace.
So I hope Bob's taking notes here because I'm sure he could use a little bit of help with his podcast.
All I know is when me and Dom are doing our podcast, he better be serving beer.
Right.
Free beer. That's all.
That was Growing Disgrace by Almost Is Nothing, a great band that sent their CD into Talking Metal.
A great guy who sent in their CD to Talking Metal. I'm trying not to slur my words.
Check them out at myspace.com/almostisnothing or their email, which is almostisnothing@hotmail.com.
Drunken idiots.
We're going to have to end this podcast right now because John is inhaling rum and cokes.
I'm going to get one more.
Even his friend is concerned for his life and he doesn't care.
No. He's just inhaling rum and cokes.
I'm going to get one more.
I'm going to have another one.
What do you think of that? You're not my mom.
All right, well, let's wrap this up, man. You did an interview with Mushroom Head. You said the show was awesome, right?
Yeah, let me tell you about the night. It was amazing, man. Let me tell you, my good friend Rob, who is their manager, and he's also from Trustkill, was so cool. He's been a Talking Metal listener forever. He was showing me that on his phone and on his iPod, he listens to Talking Metal, and he said he does it before he goes to sleep every night, which is really, really cool. And basically, Rob and Schmotz, the keyboard player, took me out to eat at a great place called Live Bait. Now, Live Bait is a place where this is not that metal, but I think it's metal. I don't know what kind of metal it is, but it's partially metal.
What? What? It's not really metal, but I think it's metal. Well, at least it's partially metal, but it's a metal restaurant. They have metal utensils there, so it's metal. We don't eat with plastic forks or anything, and it's very metal.
If you have time, please cut that little clip for me. I have a total idea for a bumper.
Okay.
I could use that.
Winger wrote the song 17 about a girl that he met at Live Bait, and then Kiss used to practice above Live Bait, supposedly. So, cool place. Anyway, we had crab cakes. They were really good. And then we went over to the show, and the show was amazing. These guys have water drums and all the regular rock instruments and a whole 9 yards going on stage. Masks, it's like Kiss on steroids, and I think it's great. Now, before the show, before I went out to eat with the guys, me, Skinny, who founded the band, one of the founders of the band, back in 1993, me, Skinny, and Pig Venus, the bass player, hung out and had a great interview, and that's what you're going to hear. But then, let me tell you what happened after. I went onto the bus, me and Gravy hung out, talked about everything Mushroom Head, plus his solo band, and unfortunately we weren't even taping. That's how cool it was. We were just rocking out, hanging out, having a great time, and basically, I just want to tell all you guys, these guys are cool dudes, and if they're coming to your town, you better go see them and buy a CD.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'll tell you how cool this was.
Yeah.
We actually had a conversation with no mics on.
That's great.
That's how cool it was.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you guys, you'll never hear anything that was said, but it was cool.
And he didn't treat me like the dork that I really am, like most other bands do, who usually just throw me off the bus as soon as the interview's over.
Cool, John.
Man, I'm looking forward to hearing this interview. I'm sorry I wasn't at the show, and this is going to be a real treat for me and all the Talking Metal listeners. Guys, buy a T-shirt. Show your support of Talking Metal. The top two ways you can do this are A, buy a T-shirt, and B, when you go see these bands and you meet them, let them know you heard their interview or their song on the Talking Metal podcast on iTunes. It's the best thing you can do.
It's the best thing you can do.
I'm right.
Why? Why is that the best thing?
Because it is.
Okay. Well, we have Talking Metal shirts over there at the Classic Metal Show store. It's I Hate Mark and John.
We do have the I Hate Mark and John shirts.
You can get shirts over there at the ClassicMetalShow.com store, and it says, I Hate Mark and John.
Now, that's not necessarily a Talking Metal reference. I just want to be clear here. We're not violating any copyright here.
Right.
It could be any Mark and any John.
Right.
It just says, I Hate Mark and John, with a big picture of Rex right in the middle.
Right.
There you go.
Shirts are available on TalkingMetal.com in the store section. Again, show your support by Talking Metal by wearing the T-shirt.
No doubt about it, the T-shirts are out of control. I am wearing one now. So
They're out of control. They're out of control.
Have you seen this T-shirt?
I am wearing one now.
This show's never going to end tonight.
Christ.
Look at this shirt.
Oh. Is this awful or what? Put that link in the chat, can you?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's out of control, all right. Wow. Fantastic.
Fucking terrible.
Ugh. You can't even tell what the hell that is.
Oh, my God.
It's like a mouth with raggedy teeth and like a spaceship or something below.
The silver.
That's just horrible. What the hell is that? Spacecraft. Talking Metal spacecraft.
That is retarded.
It's got these big snaggly teeth and Talking Metal and some kind of a stupid Encounters of the Third Kind spacecraft. Jesus Christ. Stupid.
right now, without any further ado, we're going to get into Simple Survival by Mushroomhead, the interview with Skinny and Pig, and then we're going to follow it up with 1200 by Mushroomhead.
Talking Metal out.
Talking Metal out.
Yeah, okay, Ryan. Wow. That shirt is so out of control, I can barely keep it on my body.
I know. They're out of control. I'm wearing one now.
Oh, wow.
That's fantastic.
That's something.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'm going to be ordering one as soon as the show's over.
I might buy one, seriously.
Yeah.
I might buy one. Why not?
Sure.
I'd wear it. I'd buy it just to take the picture.
Right.
Just to take the picture and
Yeah.
and to file it.
Yeah. Thanks for checking out the best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.
The Classic Metal Show.